Gadgets here, and today we want to talk about a subject that's pretty popular in the tech space these days, and that's drones or unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs. So UAVs or unmanned aerial vehicles are basically model aircraft that you control from a remote control. They're completely unmanned. You don't have to be in them. They're too small for you to get in them anyway. But anyway, drones are a big subject because they're really cool. They're really trendy right now, and they're just a lot of fun to fly. So we're going to look at a couple drones today, and I'm going to give you a little bit of, tell you a little bit about what my drone experience has been, and some of the first drones that I ever flew, and what drone that I fly the most now. It started a couple of years ago, probably 2.5 years ago. Drones started to be, I guess, popular in the tech space. You started to see them showing up. Companies like Parrot and DJI were really on the forefront of making drones a really happening category in the tech space. And I was at CES, and Parrot, the drone company, they had a huge kind of fenced-in area set up showing all these small Parrot drones and just how well controlled and how nimble of flyers that these devices were. And it was really, really neat. And I remember feeling like at that point that, man, I want to take a look at drones and really want to take a closer look and maybe even have one and fly one myself. So that's what really sparked my interest. So fast forwarding to today, I have owned 4 different drones, and I would call one of them, or actually 5 different drones, because I would call 2 of them just a toy grade drone. I guess my rationale with getting into the drone space was, hey, if I buy a toy drone for $60 or so and crash it into a tree, I guess it's not that big of a deal versus spending $1,500 to $3,000 or more on a drone and crashing it. That's a little bit bigger deal. So that was my rationale, and that's basically the thought process that I went through. So I started on toy drones. Okay, guys, so the first drone that we want to take a look at today was my very first drone that I ever flew, had no experience, and this is what I kind of got broken in with. This is the first one that I kind of cut my teeth on. So it's called the SYMA X5. You can get the X5-1 or X5SW. This is the SW model. And SYMA or SYMA, just depending on who you ask. Hopefully you can see that, the brand there. But as you can see, it's a pretty, this is like the size of my hand here. It's not a huge drone. It's not much bigger than just the widespread of your hand. But with the propellers, it gets a good bit larger. But you can see they're thin, flexible propellers. And you do have orientation lights. So that's a big thing with flying drones manually, which is the only way to fly this one. This one does not have GPS lock or anything like that. So this is, I feel personally, the best way to learn how to fly a drone is to fly manually with something like this, so you can learn the basic controls and get comfortable with orientation, whether the drone is flying towards you or if it's flying away from you. Because the orientation is going to change on your controller depending on what that orientation is. So this one does come with a camera. I think it's 720p is the resolution. Now there are some that the X5-1 comes with a camera that has a little micro SD card slot. This one does not have that. This one uses an antenna and does a first-person view to your phone, so it can send the video directly to your phone. And it has a little place on the controller, which I'll show you, to put your phone. So you snap your phone in right here so you can look as you're doing the controls. Now this is a pretty basic controller. I'll turn it on, but you still can't see very much. There is a little area down here that you can use that gives you some information. It's pretty limited, but you're allowed to trim the pitch forward on the device. You can trim that. You can trim the, when the device is hovering, you can trim it right and left just to get it to hover in the middle so it doesn't float too far to the right or left, and adjust the yaw rate as well. So, but yeah, this is the basic SYMA or SYMA controller. And like I said, this one does come with the clip for your phone. Some of their UAVs do not come with that. But yeah, so this is what I learned on. And it's pretty basic controls. You have the, this is what goes up. Sorry, I had it on. This is what goes up or down. So up and down is just basically, you hit that and it's either going to go up or go down. If you turn this to the left or turn it to the right, it simply, as it hovers, is just going to turn to the left or spin to the right. That's all it's going to do. Now your pitch, if you push this forward, trying to do this with one hand, you push this forward, then obviously it's going to lean forward and come towards you. Okay? If you tip this backwards like this, and it's facing this way, it's going to tip backwards and go backwards. And the same way, tip to the right, or tip to the left, tip to the left. So that's your pitch and your roll. And so that's basically forward, reverse, to the right, and to the left. And it's just going to lean whichever way that it's going. All right. Now, something else that I want to show you guys with drones, especially one that's compact and small like this, if you're looking at getting a beginner drone or toy drone to learn how to fly manually, to get started on, I would definitely recommend this one. One of the reasons why is because it comes with prop guards. And I'll show you the prop guards. They're not on there now, but just show you how easy they are to snap on there. You simply line them up and snap them in. All right. And there is a little screw right there that you can tighten. And it comes with the little screwdriver in the packet for you to just screw those down and screw those down. But yeah, the prop guards are good because if you're flying indoors and you like bump into something, it's gonna hit that and kind of bounce off, and it's not gonna tear up your propellers. Well, that's one of the main things that gets broken with these drones. You're flying and you hit a wall or something and you go bam and take out a propeller, completely break it. Whereas if you have these propeller guards on, you won't hit stuff and tear stuff up so much. So but yeah, just like anybody else that's learning how to fly a drone for the first time, make sure the first time you fly, you're in a big open space that doesn't have a lot of furniture or trees or wherever you are. Just make sure there's not a lot of stuff around you that you can bump into. And make sure you keep a safe distance before you put this thing up in the air. Keep a safe distance, sit it on the ground or wherever you're going to take off from, and then take a few steps back. Make sure you're 10 feet or so away from the drone before you take off and put it up in the air. It's also always a good tip to make sure you have the controller powered on first before you actually turn the drone on itself. There's a little power switch there. But yeah, it's always a good idea to make sure that the controller is powered on first. And these have to do a little binding before you get started. So you have to go down, up, down. And that you'll hear it beep, and that means that it's bound and it's, connected to the drone and it's ready to rock and roll. So, but yeah, that's a quick look at the SYMA X5. And this is the SW, the Wi-Fi version. There is a version that does not have the Wi-Fi antenna integrated, and so it also does not come with the phone clip, so you can't watch your footage. All right. So one thing that flying drones that you want to be mindful of is safety. Can't stress that enough with drones. They are, I guess, in the fun tech category, but they are powerful machines. And even, something small like this one, this one weighs, man, not even like less than a half a pound. I'd probably say, just a few ounces. So it's very, very lightweight. I mean, just nothing to it at all. But this one uses brushed motors, but they are still very strong motors, and these propellers spin extremely fast. And if you're, these propellers are spinning at full speed, and they come in contact with your hand or you in any way, you will get cut. And there is a warning on the propellers themselves. It says, "Do not fly with broken or damaged rotors, may cause damage or lead to injury." So whether they're broken and damaged or whether they're completely good, just be careful flying these things, because they can hurt you if you mishandle them. So just stay away from the propellers. That's the best thing I can tell you. If the propellers are spinning, don't put your hand there. But yeah, just wanted to show you the scale between like a full-size drone. So this is my 3DR Solo, and this is the SYMA X5. So just to see the size comparison, just the sheer scale. And man, this thing's got to weigh at least 4.5, probably close to 5 pounds with the gimbal. Now my camera's not mounted right now, but yeah, I'd say probably 5 pounds with the gimbal. So it's heavy, and this thing's like a feather. I mean, there's just nothing to it. So this one is so light that you don't necessarily have to register it with the FAA. Something large like this, so this is a 3DR Solo, something like this, or a DJI Phantom 3, Phantom 4, even a Mavic. Even though a Mavic's more on the compact side of things, it is still of a weight. Even the DJI Spark, it's really small and lightweight, but because of the capabilities and the category, it does still need to be registered. So you just go on the FAA website and register your drones, and they just will have you basically sign off on all the rules, that you understand all the rules as far as flying below 400 feet, not flying near people or building structures, things like that. So just to make sure that you are aware of all the rules and safety, and just that you will be flying responsibly. So, but yeah, just kind of comparing the size of those, and I'm actually gonna do a up close look next at the 3DR Solo, because this is kind of my daily flyer. This is what I do most of my photography flying with, because it has a really nice gimbal, and has a camera that supports 4K. Okay, so just really quick, this is the box that my SYMA X5 came in, and so this is the X5SW version 3. I actually had version 1 of this thing, and man, it's changed a good bit since version 1. Anyway, this is one of the best ones, guys, if you want to learn how to fly drones and learn how to control one manually. Just because these days, the reason why I say control and fly manually, it's really important to learn how to, the basics of flying. Because, all the real popular drones like the DJI Phantoms, the Mavic Pros, the 3DR Solos, the unique drones and things like that, all the real popular drones, they use GPS and they use all of these autonomous features that basically kind of make the drone fly itself. But the reason why I think it's so important to learn how to fly manually on something like this, or just on any drone, is just so you know how to control the drone, so that if GPS fails or one of the autonomous things fail, that you don't, freak out and just crash the thing, that you know how to control it well enough manually to get it landed safely. And get yourself out of trouble. So, but yeah, it's just showing that, you can use Wi-Fi transmission. But yeah, it's kind of a small box. It says 12 and up. But yeah, not much to it. Just a pretty basic box. You get the drone itself. You get 4 propellers, plus they give you some extra propellers. I'll pull one out there. So they give you a few extra propellers. So if you're undoubtedly going to crash it, and they are labeled, so clockwise A and counterclockwise B. So they are labeled. Hopefully you can see that. So they are labeled so you can see which way they go, and you can look on the drone too as well to see if you have them set up the right way. And just make sure that this is flowing the same way. The blades, the directions of the blades, A and B, clockwise, counterclockwise. And there is also a little if you crash one or break one of the blades, this shows you which direction that it should be going in. So just clockwise or counterclockwise. But yeah, also in the box you get the battery for the drone itself. This is the little connector that you plug it in. This is the little door, the trap door that the battery goes into. That just snaps closed or open, and you plug that in and slide it right in. Battery. Again, your on and off switches here. And your landing gear as well, that does not come on there. You have to snap those on yourself, and there's a little screw to tighten those on to make sure those don't fall. But yeah, you get the extra propellers, the camera, battery, and you get a charging cord, and it's just a basic USB charger, and this is the connector here, and you just simply take the connector and make sure that the grooves are lined up properly, and then you just slide that, snap that right in, so it's ready to charge. And you'll know that it's fastened in because this will turn red. I don't know if you can see that, but the little indicator light will turn red. That's when you know that it's ready to charge. And you just plug that into any power brick that you have. You plug that in there, and it'll be ready to charge right up. And once it's charged up, that red light will go off. That's how you know it's completely charged. So yeah, that's a quick look at the SYMA X5. I will put a link to this guy in the description below the video, so if you want to check one out. Also, you get a fly manual, like a basic flying manual in the package, and a little 20% off your next purchase coupon. So I'll put the link in the description below, And but yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit more about drones and stuff on Gino's Gadgets. So if anything that I said in this video was helpful, or you were able to identify with anything, please like, give this a thumbs up, and subscribe as well, guys. And again, that's Gino's Gadgets with the SYMA X5, and we'll see you in the next video.